Yeah, I mean, it's a lot less fun now than it was when we were kids, but I still like the
Yeah.
snow, yeah. And I mean, I used to, it's been a couple years since I've done this, but I used to every year go for like a snowboarding weekend. That's one thing I really enjoy. And so
Hmm.
that's another reason why I like the winter and the snow for the activities.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I've always, even as a kid, was never a big fan of snow. But I was reminded this morning of the blizzard of '96. A friend of mine posted an old video. I was like, "Holy crap! I forgot all about that."
That was that was huge as far as because where I lived in Tom's River, and we
Mhm.
had like we were fortunate to have a big backyard area.
Yeah.
So it was pretty dope. But the only problem is there's no hills in that area. So you can't actually it was hard to do anything like sledding or any kind of fun activities because the whole entire that area is flat.
Flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
lived in
go ahead.
Newark, Delaware at the time, and I lived in an apartment complex. There was zero hills, so we just made our own.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was another storm that I remember. I was a little older than '96. I think it was like I was in college time. A couple years after that, there was a big blizzard where we got several feet of snow, and I constructed a giant snowboard ramp in my backyard, like down the stairs of the deck into the backyard. It was crazy. And I was just
Oh,
out
that's
there.
right.
Yeah, I was out there for like 48 hours just snowboarding in my backyard. It was awesome.
The Two Clouded Mind Show is filmed live in New Jersey where recreational cannabis is legal. Please use cannabis responsibly and in accordance with your local laws.
Hey, friends, it's time for another new episode of the Two Clouded Mind Show with your favorite hosts, Chris
I have a very caveman brain.
and Dave.
He's falling apart in front of our eyes.
Subscribe to the Two Clouded Mind Show on YouTube
See our pretty faces.
and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Two Clouded Mind. Two Clouded. Come on.
Two Clouded Minds, baby. I love you guys.
What's up, Chris?
Hey,
Forget how to do this?
I did forget. You know what it is?
You got to talk out loud. That's
No, but
rule number
sometimes-
one.
That I know. But sometimes, like with our new way of doing things,
We can say it. We're on Zoom.
yeah,
I'm not ashamed.
I lose the intro as soon as God says, "Two Clouded Minds, I love you." And
Really?
then I'm like, I try to think in my head. I'm like, all right, I have this many seconds, and I never hit the mark.
Interesting.
Never hit the mark. I
We
don't
gotta-
hit the post, as you say.
I don't know why the sound cuts out for you. Maybe there's a setting within Zoom that you need to change so that you can hear the music.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll look into it.
I'm
Yeah.
not an expert
hey,
on Zoom.
Dave, happy 2025, dude.
Yeah, this is the first time that we've got a chance to talk. I mean, this episode is coming out. I think it's like technically past Larry David's time that you're allowed to say Happy New Year to somebody. So it's a few days. We're a few days after, but this is the first time you and I got a chance to speak. So yes, Happy New Year, man. What did you do? Anything fun for the holiday, or did you just have to? Did they make you work, slave in it?
I did work. But on top of that, I was so sick for the last 2 weeks.
I got sick also, and I think Anthony got sick too. Everybody got sick. Yeah, I was sick for like 10 days or something.
Yeah,
It was bad.
it was so bad.
Yep. Wow.
Oh,
Look at
thank
us.
God it's over. Yeah, dude.
Huh. Interesting.
Dude, I was, besides like forcing myself, I did take one of the days that I was supposed to work. I called my boss. I was like, dude, I literally can't even get out of bed. Every time I lifted my head, I was dizzy and it was disgusting. So, but yeah, I forced myself the other days, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the couple of days in between.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, I did. I was pretty much the same with New Year's, where I was not like, I was at I went to my brother's house. And there was a handful of people there, like a really old friend of mine, like the first friend I made when I moved to Tom's River. His name is Tom, and his wife Jamie. They're great. My cousin Jen was there, and my brother, my sister-in-law, his two kids, and then they had like a neighbor and their kids over, and that's like 8 people or whatever. And I was just like, I want to get out of here so bad. I just want to get out of here. Like, is it 12? Like 12 o'clock never came so slow in my life. as it did that day. I mean, I had a good time. I mean, but it was just like I just did not feel well. You know, I was like not up to being out and doing the thing. And here I am. It's New Year's, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, certain times you have to actually suck it up and like really just make it happen just for the sacrifice for a few hours.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. You know, I want to see the kids. I want to see the family and
Yeah.
get out a little
You
bit.
get yourself out, you make your family happy, everybody's happy. It's good. It's
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm making my appearance. I have, if I can put in, I there's like a certain quota of appearances I need to make on a yearly basis, and so that's my last shot or my first shot, if you figure.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
like strong bookend.
I owe my family down south a lot of visits. I've been horrible, really, really bad.
I I've seen most of my family pretty recently, but there's a lot of maybe not a lot. There's some of my family that I don't see very often at all because like they live like many states away,
Yeah,
and it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see
Definitely.
the people who live 15 minutes away, let
yeah,
alone
exactly.
you know.
Yeah, yeah, totally understandable. But first and foremost, I want to thank you for doing that live stream, our last live stream. You
No
know,
problem. It was me and
when
me.
I
Me
was
and Metis hung out. You were there for a little while. You were,
when
you
I was
know,
in
on
the
the
chat,
chat.
I was at work, literally like basically like one hand on a garbage can, ready to vomit. Like, like please, I can't do this.
That sucks. Yeah, it was a good time. You know, we rain or shine, we do the thing. Although obviously last week we didn't have an episode, but we're allowed to take vacation. In the words of
Yeah.
in the words of the very very wise Demon Metis, we are allowed to
Mhm.
take vacation too. So we
Yeah,
took the week.
It's allowed.
But yeah, man, I'm glad to be back doing something. But you know, also I'm also just glad to be feeling good enough to do stuff. So that's a double nice thing.
Yeah, for sure. And like I had said earlier, like I knew that I was sick, and I knew that we didn't link for a while. And you know, by a while, like if we don't talk for like a week, in my eyes,
That's a long time. Yeah. Yeah.
So like I said, I didn't want to be a pest. I was just like, maybe I don't know. I don't know if he's busy. Like,
Yeah, no, it just turned out that all three of us got sick at the same time, and we were just like, because you know, Anthony and I had to skip a football podcast last weekend. We just we were down. We were all down for the count.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Sucks.
so
And you guys,
we made it through.
how is that going? I know
It's over.
We're at the end. It's over.
Championship week happened 2 weeks ago. So this we're recording right now on a Monday. This episode will come out on Wednesday. So we're like just a couple. This episode was recorded as you're watching it just a couple days ago. The NFL season. I just got a sad email. The NFL season. This ties in actually to what I'm talking about right now. The NFL season.
Oh, okay.
Regular
Okay, I was
season
like,
just
oh,
ended.
no, no.
It's a bummer email. I'll open it and we'll read it together. But give me a second. I'll get to it. So week 18, the final week of the regular season just happened, which means that after our episode airs on Wednesday, that the following Saturday is when the NFL playoffs start. So in a couple days from right now, the NFL playoffs start, right? But most fantasy football leagues end in week 17. So this was week 18 that just passed this weekend. Last weekend, the previous weekend is when the championship games were.
Got it.
And for most legitimate leagues, yeah.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, in week 18, a lot of times if a team is already like locked up in a playoff spot and they don't need to do anything, like they it doesn't matter if they win or lose, they'll rest players. So like you don't want to have your championship game and then like Patrick Mahomes doesn't play or something like that. Maybe, I mean, it's not the best example because Patrick Mahomes is not super viable in fantasy, but you get the point.
Yeah, for sure.
So it turns out Anthony, I think, won 2 championships this year. I won 2 championships this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won our main home league, and Anthony won our dynasty league. So yeah, we have the both of us are going to be. Oh, my buttons aren't working. God damn it. Yeah, the both of us are champions. Very proud of ourselves.
Congratulations to both of you.
This is sad. The buttons aren't working.
Oh.
Bummer. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah. We still have, we're still wiping the dust off of things. That's it. That's all. Yeah, like I said, I just it's been a very, very, very uneventful last couple weeks.
All right, here we go. I'm going to try this. Anthony and I won 2 championships each. Thank you. No. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. So there you go. It worked. The buttons are back, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, and then okay. So getting back, and in addition to regular season long leagues, I was also in like a pick'em league with my buddy Danny, who does the football podcast with us. And we each week will make like 5 picks against the spread and see, if how many you get it right every week, and then they just keep adding them together, and at the end of the year, whoever has the most picks right wins, so on and so forth. We didn't do that well in our picks this year, but we had this other game that's called like a one and done game. Basically, the way it works, I'm just going to go through it really quickly. You set a lineup every week, but you can never use the same player twice. So once you use them, they're burned, and then that's it. And then you just got to make a new team the next week and a new team the next week. So every single week of the season, you're picking, okay, well, which players have the best possible chance to have a really big game. So Danny and I did this every week, and we got all the way to week 17 out of 18 total weeks. And at the end of week 17, we were 15 points out of first place. We were in second place, 15 points out of first. And Danny's like,
crazy.
Right, so we were right there. And so we're like, we really got to do good this week. But the problem was he also got sick. He wasn't really paying attention too much to the football in week 18 because none of it really matters in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was not paying attention to any of the news because I was like in my bed the entire time. And so we built our lineup for week 18. And we're like, I wonder who gets paid out. Is it the number 1 person only? Is it first, second, third? Like, not sure how it's done because we never won it before. We've been playing it like 2 or 3 years now. It's a newer game that the guy does. Usually people just do like the eliminator survivor pool where each week you got to pick a team to win. You've heard of that.
Yeah, that I've heard.
So I just got the email. So anyway, we made our picks for yesterday, for Sunday. And unfortunately for Danny and I, we missed some news that certain players were just going to get rested. They were just not going to be played.
Oh, fuck.
So one of our quarterbacks and our tight end both got zeros because they played like 3 plays and then they just sat down for the rest of the day. It was the New England. We didn't expect. I didn't realize that New England was. They were like, all right, we're fucked. We're out. Like usually, like when a team is clinched a playoff spot, that's when you know if they're going to rest their players or something. And that was also our mistake, is that we should have used the backup players for the teams that were clinching. We used starters who were still starting. And so anyway, we got a 0 for two. We took 2 zeros and ended up falling from second place. In first place, a guy named Sal won. In second place, a guy named Jeff won. In third place, a guy named Bruce won. And guess who was in fourth place? We were in fourth place. So we fell from second to fourth in the last week just because we completely fell flat on our face and weren't paying attention to the NFL news. And so we cost ourselves some money. I don't know what the payouts were. But he paid out first, second, and third place, and we fell from second to fourth in the very last week. Yep, fell right out of the money. We just
so
like,
sorry.
no, don't apologize. We fucked up. That's Danny and I was like, bad job by us. Like, we got to do better. This was just a huge, and we're just back and forth. We're like, this was a disaster. Like, shame on us. How could we do this? Like, how could we? This is crazy because. That's a couple $100 that you'd like to have,
Yeah.
But
Bummer.
But yeah, and the other bummer, the bigger bummer. So Anthony won the Dynasty Championship, but it's a tainted championship, unfortunately, because one of the guys in our league, he's in both of our leagues with us. I think you may have heard of us revert to Bobby J before. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I've heard that name come out of you guys' mouth.
So Bobby J, he's like the adorable idiot of the league, and so. At the end of the year, he just stopped managing his team in the season-long league, in the league that I won. So for 3 weeks, he just completely neglected his team at the end of the year. He was in last place. He had nothing to play for, so he just stopped setting his lineup. And that screws up other things because now the person you're playing against is going to get an unfair advantage because you're not trying your best to win, right? So it's going to change things. It's going to screw things up. So I talked to him about it after the season, and I was like, "Hey, what happened there?" He's like, "I'm really sorry." I was like, "Do you not want to be in the league anymore? Is there something going on?" He's like, "No, I'm so sorry. It just, it just got a little bit busy. Blah 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 blah. It'll never happen again." I'm like, all right, word. And the very next week was the playoffs, the beginning of the playoffs. And he was in the Dynasty playoffs. Now again, he started neglecting his team in the regular league because it was in last place. But he had his team that was in the Dynasty League, which was actually fighting for first place in his division. And he was managing that team. So immediately after, I text with him, and he's like, I'll never do that again. I'm so sorry. He immediately, in the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs, doesn't set his lineup. He does it again. He loses. Where he and you could, it's very plain to see if you plug in the two guys that he should have started. There's two main starters that were on the bench because the previous week their teams were on a bye. If he just puts these two players basic in, he wins. So if he wins, he goes and he plays against me in the next round, and Danny Mac goes and plays against Anthony in the next round. But that's not what happened. Bobby J didn't set his lineup, so the other guy won. So I played against Danny Mac, and Anthony played against the other guy. Just the way that the things that's the way
it panned out.
Right. That's how the seeding works.
Uh-huh.
So Danny's team goes berserk. He has the best game of his season and beats my team. My team had a pretty good game, but his team went crazy in the semifinals of the championship and knocked my team out, which was very disappointing for me because, well,
But it was honorable.
It was as honorable. I played the person I was against, and his team had his best game of the year. Now, that kind of stung for me because that kept happening to me all season long, where the players I was going against would always have their best games, but I digress. So then Anthony wins his game. Now, in Anthony's game, both of the teams scored low, so I would have beat both of those guys, right? Whoever I played against in that side. And Bobby's team, the team that lost, I would have beat him too, right? So I would have been in the championship if Bobby had set his lineup. Instead, I got eliminated in the semifinals. So Bobby doesn't set his lineup. That puts Anthony in the finals. And then in the finals, they both have shitty games, but Anthony has a better score.
Yeah.
In the third place game, I scored 214 points, which was like the highest score in the league the whole year. So I would have crushed either one of them in the finals. So if Bobby J sets his lineup in the playoffs, I win the championship.
Yeah.
But instead, Bobby J didn't set his lineup, so Anthony won the championship. That's just it's just a fact, like this fucking guy. And now the other shitty thing about it is, like, if you look past all that stuff, like, oh, my championship, his championship, whatever the fuck, I got to talk to this guy who I've been playing fantasy football with for 12 years and be like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? Do you and do I continue to play with this guy? So it becomes so this Bobby J thing. This is the new thing now, is the Bobby J situation. Like, what's going on with Bobby J?
You should name a league Bobby J League.
Oh, well, he's got his own league, and I won it.
Sick.
I walked in there and took their money.
Since you had already said, hey, dude, like, please don't
That's
pick it for another week, is there a punishment in place or some sort of a forfeit?
No, well, that's the thing. I ended up being the one who forfeit something. I got screwed. He did that, and it screwed me directly. So, and I get no restitution from that. I get no justice there, right? Even though, I scored way more than both of them in the championship. I would have easily won it no matter who I was matched up against. But because this guy didn't set his lineup, blah, 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 right? So, no. And to answer your question, there's no punishment because we're not a league who, like, some you see on TV, like the guy lost his fantasy league, so he's got to dress up like a clown and stand on the corner with a sign, like all that stuff. We don't do that. We don't do punishments. We don't do anything like that. And I even joked with Bobby when I talked to him at the end of the season. I was like, hey, man, we don't do punishments in this league, but I could always start, like, don't do this anymore. And he's like, no problem, man. I'm really sorry. And then in the very next fucking game, he does it. And it fucks me out of hundreds of dollars and a championship.
Yeah, you have every right to be sour.
Right.
Sour.
And again, it's a stupid thing, but at the same time, what it comes down to is like respect for another person. At the end of the day, that's all it is. Right. It's just having respect for the other 11 guys in your league, or if you're in the other 9 guys in your league, or how many. If you don't have that respect for the other guys in your league, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
That
Because what
sucks.
inevitably what happens is the person who fucks up says, "Oh, it's only fantasy football. It doesn't fucking matter." Right? But that's not the point, is it? Right? We all have our money on this, and it's about
especially when there's real money in the line. Like
Yeah.
whether it's $1 or $1,000, it's still
right. It's the
play with some
principle.
integrity. Yeah.
So
man.
the new poop on the street, which we haven't got a chance to discuss yet. Tomorrow night is our normal pod night. I gotta find out if anybody's going to be available. We haven't been able to discuss it yet, but the new poop on the street is the Bobby J poop.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bad deal. That not
Yeah,
what you
that is
want.
bad deal.
Not
No.
what you want.
Heard that. That Bobby J poop.
So here's listen to some other. I got some poop for you. You want to hear some poop, bro?
I would love to hear some poop. Poop with it. Let's do it.
The fight is off. The fucking fight is off. It's over.
Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. I
need to know one thing, and you just answer me one word. One word answer. I'm going to give you 2 words, and you tell me which one it is.
go.
Canceled or postponed? Deep down. Give me your honest here. Canceled or postponed?
In my heart of hearts, I think it's canceled. I would love to say that it's postponed. Mind you, now I'm not gonna sit here and shit on him or badmouth anybody.
But we're talking about Shitty Boy, by the way. We're talking about Shitty Boy, by the way. For anybody who's not sure, you reminded me when you said shitty.
Yeah. So, I understand, like, life happens, things,
Yep.
I get it.
Yes.
Him and I did speak. He reached out. He actually called me when I was sick, and he's like, "Dude, you sound like you're dying." I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like I am." I
He's
was
like, well, maybe we should call off the fight then.
But I had said, "Hey, you definitely have the upper hand right now because I hadn't been into the gym in 2 weeks, so I was basically starting fresh again."
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah, can we talk?" And he called me, and he's like, I haven't been able to be consistent in the gym. He's got things going on in his professional life. He's also, his personal life. He said, we'll either postpone till spring, summer,
Okay.
or we'll come up with, I suggested, if we don't fight, why don't the Two Clouded Mind show and the Mad Scientist Party Hour come up with some kind of cool crossover event for the summertime, which would give us 6 months to try to work something out and make something happen. Whatever it may be,
Which could be totally unrelated to a fight.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the record, I'm definitely in favor of that. I'm definitely in favor of doing a crossover thing with the MSPH guys. Sounds like it could be a lot of fun. It could go in a lot of different directions. So, I would be more than happy to chop that up with those guys and try to figure out something we could do. But at the same time, it's also a little bit of a bummer that there is that potential of it just never happening.
But you know what does happen?
What's that? The belt stays home.
Yeah, however, you know what? I give him props. He did offer to get the tattoo. He offered to give me money towards my gym membership. Like he's a good dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
really,
Well, there's no look. We never that was never under debate. This guy is a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah.
Huge coward. Huge coward. No honor whatsoever. An embarrassment to himself and others. But really a great guy. Just the nicest guy. Yeah.
We love him. We love him.
Big wimp. Huge wimp. Nice guy. Nice guy. No balls.
I like to think that when I went to the premiere of John Cooper and we did our first face off, he saw
what the size difference was.
I might be in trouble.
That's
I
funny.
like to think that that's just my ego taking over.
Hey, look, there's no proof against that. There's no way that anybody could prove you're wrong there.
Yeah.
The evidence does support that theory.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean,
Well,
listen, like I said, something will come of this either way. Stay tuned. Summer of 2025. I mean, this whole year, in fact, I mean, we're going to be doing some cool things.
and
you know.
who knows? Maybe it will be better for our future doings with the MSPH guys for you not to beat the shit out of Shuddy first thing, right off the rip. You know what I mean? Like maybe the first thing to do with those guys is not beat them up.
Yeah.
You know, like not right away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Could go in,
Fun.
have a little fun first, get to know them, then the
Mhm.
punches start being thrown. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The
I am
natural
gonna
order of
speak
things.
to I'm gonna speak to my coach. I overheard that in February over at Killer B, there might be, they call them smokers, little in-house fights. Um, I'm gonna see if he has any boxers, and if anything, maybe I can do that. It's nice local.
Just
still
picking up. Just, now
training.
you're just trying to pick up some like just random action.
Yeah,
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
look.
I
Wait.
want to stay active. I want to, I want to stay fit. I want to stay on. I want to stay on the training thing all year consistently.
Yeah, it's something you like to do, so you may as well like.
Yeah.
It would be like me practicing snowboarding, but never actually going on a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mhm.
want, you're practicing it. You want to go and do it.
And hey, you never know. This sounds stupid, but I'm a bouncer again, and if anything popped off, I could at least defend myself.
Yeah, that's always helpful. It's work skills. You should be able to write that off on your taxes. No.
I should, right?
Huh? Now we're talking.
Roadhouse.
But yeah, like all jokes aside, maybe you could write off some fighting lessons as a. Interesting.
I'll speak to my accountant.
There you
I'll bring
go.
it up casually.
No,
Hey,
that's
by the way,
right. Like I'm in a security position. I'm taking some lessons here. What do we do? I'll bet you there's
Yeah.
something. I'll bet you there is. But you got to
I
be able to
bet
like
if I-
prove that you work there or something. I don't know.
yeah. Or if I there's something called SORA. I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it's basically like you're certified security guard, and you can really like work anywhere as far as like you can like go and get a job at the venues, the big coliseums, the arenas, and all that stuff, like easier. I wonder if that would help, because I was thinking about getting that.
So it's like a certification, a security bouncer / security certification.
Yeah.
Certification
And
is always good.
also, yeah, certification are always good, and you could also certify to be armed security as well, which is cool.
You could. I can't.
Yeah.
Not me. Sorry, buddy. They'll take one look at me and be like, no, we can't give this guy a gun.
Look at me. I painted myself funny.
Well, yeah, a little bit, but like cops have tattoos, you know?
Actually, funny enough, our friend Brittany Trujillo,
Yes. Shout out, Brittany.
she is she's an armed security guard.
There you go. She's got face tattoos just like you, maybe more.
Yeah. Oh, she's got a ton more than me. All
So-
right.
There you go.
There's a future in this for the old guy here.
The precedent exists.
Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah, man. I also I've been working behind the scenes trying to find us a legit dungeon master.
Good luck to you. I hope you find it. Like that. I know you texted me that the other day, and
Yeah.
that would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Actually kind of excited. Like
Have you ever played
know
before?
about it. I've never played.
Okay. See, I played 2 times. A dude I went to high school with. It was in high school. I had a band in high school at one point, and there was like 6 of us, and like 4 or 5 of the guys in the band. The one guy was like, "I'm getting into Dungeons and Dragons, and I'll be the dungeon master." And da. So we did 2 campaigns with this dude as the dungeon master. It was pretty fun. It can get pretty fun depending on the people that are in it. If you like really buy into it, it could be enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really want to dude, we'll come up with a fun campaign. I'd like it to be, not a short one. I'd like to be, kind of as lengthy as we could possibly stretch it out to be, where it's still kind of funny and fun.
Well, I think that the campaigns, like, they already exist. Like, they were already, like, written out, right? And then the dungeon master knows it already. It's like a story that they read already or something like that.
Got it.
We don't have to come up with the story. It just there's already, like, you know,
Scripts out there.
yeah, it's like already a quest that exists, and it's like, this is the new Dungeons and Dragons quest just dropped, and it's like a whole storyline that your dungeon master learns.
Oh, dude, how cool would it be to find something that's almost tailored to us? Like, I wonder if they have like
Hey,
modern.
Start with the
style.
dungeon master first, and then go from there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I got my feelers out there. I spoke to a couple people.
What kind of a feeler do you use to find a dungeon master, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'll be straight up, and please don't take offense to this, anybody. But I just called up a couple of my nerdy friends and said, "Hey, I got a question for you," and they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're thinking this for this, like
So now,
possibly a live episode," and they were like, "We'll get back to you."
we're like, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I mean that in the most endearing way. My
course.
nerdiest friend.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. Yeah, no, it's goofy, and it's been done before. Obviously, like I said, I think
Yeah.
before I said that, but I want to be clear that I know other podcasts have done it, but
Of
it would
course.
still be fun if we could do that, do something like
Yeah,
that.
let us jump on the wave for a little bit.
Sure.
Let's check it out.
It's the new hotness. It's Dungeons and Dragons is trending. What are you talking about?
Yeah, D&D clouded style.
That's right.
You have not seen it this way.
I've been watching while I was sick.
Uh-huh.
I started watching on Netflix The Witcher. This is speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, it's making me think of The Witcher. Have you seen it on Netflix?
I see that it's on Netflix. I've never seen it.
I didn't like. It's been out for a while. There's 3 seasons already, and there's like a 4th season they're going to be making.
Mhm.
But it was just to the point where I was sitting sick all day, every day, and not doing anything. So I was like just watching all of Netflix, like everything on Netflix. Just
Of
okay,
course.
let me watch this. I'll watch that. I'll watch this. And I was like, let me just watch some shows because it's like an even longer movie. So now I'll watch there was a limited series called Maniac, which was awesome. And it was like 10 episodes. So it's just like
Okay.
a really extra long movie, so you could just
Yeah, hell
binge the
yeah.
whole thing. But yeah, The Witcher is like Dungeons and Dragons sort of. There's like knights and swords and magic and mages and bards and stuff like that and castles.
One question.
Go ahead.
Are there vehicles?
There's a horse-drawn carriages.
No cars.
No cars. No, it's way
No
before.
car- no Chris.
Right. No cars, no Chris. Yeah, this is not in your wheelhouse. But in Dungeons, I'll tell you this, Chris, in Dungeons and Dragons, there's no cars. There's no vehicles. You're not going to be able to have a vehicle in Dungeons and Dragons. You're
Yeah,
going to
but
have
it could end up being some kind of cool like goblin or some kind of like.
You'll
super
probably, yeah. You get to choose that.
sick.
You get to choose what you are, and it gives you like special skills and stuff like that. But
Hell yeah.
but no vehicles. So just be aware of that. You might have to like ride it. The best you could do is maybe ride some sort of animal. If you have like a beast companion or something.
Dude. Oh my god, like some never ending story riding Falgor and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
I'm down. But see, even in never ending story, there was cars.
I don't really. The only thing I really remember about that movie is Falcor. And then isn't there a kid named Atreyu and the horse falls in the tar and the horse goes under?
Yeah.
And that
Shout
I remember
out to Treyu.
that
Killer
was
man.
yeah, that was a sad scene.
It was a sad scene. I think that was the first movie I ever cried at. Honestly. Yeah, I was
think-
sad about the horse.
I'm gonna say I don't know if I cried at Bambi,
No, I laughed at it.
but that was probably the first like sad movie I saw. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't see Bambi until I was an adult.
Well, that's probably why you didn't cry.
Yeah.
That's
I laughed. I
I'll
was
tell you
like,
that's probably a good reason why you didn't cry there because you saw it as an adult. A little bit different than seeing it as a tiny little kid.
Yeah, but it's weird now. Like I could watch a sad movie and I'll be sobbing Well, I don't know. The older I get, the more I will like show physical signs of emotion while I'm watching a movie.
It's because you're
It's
soft.
weird. Yeah, I am
You're getting
soft.
soft. It's pretty
This
obvious.
is all a facade, man. I did this on purpose.
Yeah, try to fool people.
Exactly. I tell you what, sometimes it works, especially,
sure.
at work. You walk up to somebody and like, "Hey man, like calm down or you got to go or it's time to go." They kind of like, "All right."
Yeah, it probably wouldn't work the same way for me if I did it. They'd be like, "Who's this
No,
fucking guy?"
you have a certain level of intimidation factor behind you.
It's different
You
than
know,
yours, though. Yeah, we're totally
yeah,
different. Like if I walk up to somebody, there's probably going to be a fight. It's not like there's no softness to it at all.
yeah,
It's all right.
love it,
It's all right.
love it. Oh man.
So what else
So
is going on?
I got a fun fact that I just learned.
All right, I'm excited.
You know the saying, "The cat's out of the bag."
Yes.
You know where that originated from?
No, but why don't you tell me?
So way back in the day, and I'm I'm not going to say what time period because I know for a fact I don't remember the time period, but it was way, way, way back in the day. Farms would sell piglets, and they would put the piglets in like burlap sacks so you can take them home. What they started doing was you would buy a pig, you'd give them the money, they'd give you a sack, you'd get home, you'd open the bag, and it would be full of cats. So that's where they got the expression, "the cat's out of the bag."
So people would like
Like, say
trick
you
you,
came to my farm to buy a pig, I would take your money and
give you cats instead.
just sell you cats instead. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's fucked up.
Right?
Hmm.
Crazy.
Interesting.
That was my first fun fact of 2025. I can't guarantee I'll have one every episode, but I'm gonna try.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Having all sorts of technical difficulties over here, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah, the buttons are screwing me up. I think what's going on is like I usually use a certain connector and I'm using a different connector and this connector is just being a dick.
Okay.
Pretty
Fair
pretty
enough.
much.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the way I have my setup here, I have it so like I don't have to touch anything other than like a power button and inputting the password on the laptop.
Oh, great for you, buddy. Very fucking proud of you. I have about 1,000 wires in front of me that you can't see. I have a computer. I have a TV. I have the Rodecaster. I have the buttons right here. My buttons. I've got the camera, lights, all sorts of
Oh,
stuff.
don't get me wrong. I have all that
No,
too.
no, no.
I
Yeah,
have that too. I
yours
don't
is
have the
just.
Rodecaster.
But here's the thing: you get to leave yours put together. I have to take mine apart and put it back together every time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like
Yeah,
I'm
this is definitely not. This is definitely not a pissing contest. You definitely have to do. You definitely have.
Oh,
it
yeah.
Worth. But
Yeah.
it was a pain in the dick to get this all set up, and I know that yours is every week.
Yeah, so that's why I'm hoping that we do the football podcast tomorrow night, so I can just leave it today and then come back and then like leave it
yeah,
for overnight. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I'm also so I work Tuesday night. I'm available if you are, if you want to do something Wednesday, whether it's we shoot a little Patreon or we do a Patreon and a regular.
I wouldn't mind doing a Patreon and a regular just to try to, get back
Yeah,
out in front of things.
Yeah. Yep. I hear you. Yeah.
So
I'm totally
I'm down for Wednesday. Yeah, the only day this week I'm busy is Thursday.
okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so I'll probably end up I'll go to the gym tomorrow morning. I'll work tomorrow night. Skip the gym Wednesday morning, obviously, because getting off at 2:30, trying to get a 5 a.m. class is bullshit with no sleep.
Yeah,
That's just straight up bullshit.
you get up too early in the morning. You gotta figure that out.
I've been sleeping in. It's been
When you say sleeping in, how late are you sleeping?
today. I got up at 9.
Oh, that's pretty late for you. That's
It's
very late for
me,
you.
and I felt it. I was like, oh, it doesn't feel right. I feel like ugh, I feel like I don't know. I don't know. But that's working nights, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's the main difference, right? Is that your hours are different. Totally, like your whole day is flipped.
Completely flip flopped. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
So, are you off every Wednesday or just this Wednesday?
For most Wednesdays, I think I'm gonna be off. I'm gonna be the Tuesday guy. They got me on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
So
All right. So let's definitely plan on doing something this Wednesday, and then we'll see if we can get some consistency going again. We're good at that.
fuck it. Hell yeah, dude. I'm down. I'm so down. And even if like for the off chance that they did call me in on a Wednesday, I'm not in till 8 p.m. So I could still make it happen and not like feel rushed. You know what I mean?
Right on. Yeah, that works. That
Yeah.
works.
So yeah, I am down, dude.
Cool. You got anything else, or you want to just want to wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's wrap this one up here. I have hopefully the three of us are here for next episode. I have a game planned.
We'll
It's gonna
see.
it's pretty fun. It's like a true or false kind of game, nice and easy. So we'll get that going.
I'll reach out to Anthony and see what he says.
Yeah.
Maybe Wednesday.
Tell him he was missed. Well, hey Anthony, you were missed.
There you go.
I know you watch.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. Let's see if I remember this. Check us out on YouTube at the Two Clouded Mind Show. We are all over social media at the Two Clouded Mind Show. And if you don't want to watch us and you just want to listen to us, we are everywhere that podcasts live at the Two Clouded Mind Show. And if you want to stalk us individually, I am at Chris_is_not_funny on Instagram.
DC in the City on all social media. Check out Spirit for Spirits wherever you can watch videos. Killing it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You would not be disappointed. It is such a cool show.
Yes. If you like booze, if you like drinks, if you like cocktails, if you like bartenders, check out Spirit for Spirits. Give it a
Yeah,
try.
he said booze, not boobs, you freaks.
Well, you can watch it for boobs too. There's not any boobs in it, but if you like boobs, you might like this too.
This is true.
They're unrelated in every way, but you still might like it.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Dave, thank you very much.
You got it, man.
Till next time,
Yes, sir.
stay clouded.